Hi guys, the last video ended with page 203, so I'm picking up for the second half of this week's reading, 204 to 224. Running away. I wait till Ganwar falls asleep. I don't want to be here anymore. I don't want to be in a place where my words taste wrong in my mouth. I don't want to live in a place where candy for a kind girl makes people angry and every year the trees must die. I want to be in a place where the things I love and know are there within my reach. But where is that place? My aunt says I can find sun when the sky is dark, but she's wrong. I can see what isn't there. I check the jar where I keep my pay from Lou. I have a handful of green papers and 4 silver washing machine coins. With such riches, I can run far away to places I've seen on TV, on the TV machine. Although it will mean a lot of walking, maybe I can go to Washington to the president's house and ask him to help find Mama. I know 2 buses, the bus to the grocery store and the mall, and the one to Lou's farm. I will take the bus that comes to the bus stop first, and I will then at least I will be on my way. I would like to leave a note so that my aunt and Ganwar and Hannah won't worry about me, but I don't know yet how to write many words. Ganwar snores softly. I leave half the green papers on the sofa. I write my name on a scrap of paper. I make a heart shape like the one I gave Hannah. I get my jacket, and I go. Bus, page 206. Evening air is cool and damp. I take the first bus that comes, the route that goes past Lou's. I put my coins in the hungry metal mouth beside the driver. The bus jerks and I grab a pole. How far does this bus go? I ask. To the airport, he says. The airport? I repeat. With the flying boats? The driver gives me a strange look. Sit down, kid. I think about this important news as I take a seat. For the first time, I wonder if I could go back home. I have my green money papers after all. I could fly to my home and find my mother myself. This is what a good son would do. I think of the vastness of my country. I think of the camp, the guns, the blood. I wonder if flying back home would be like the time I tried to fly from the top of the acacia tree. The bus is nearly empty. We pass many buildings. I take many turns, and then we are on a big street I know well. In the soft light, I see familiar places: the gas stations, the empty lots, the cars for sale, with bright lights on a string overhead like captured stars. This is an ugly land, I think. It needs endless horizons and emptiness. Here, too many buildings block the sky. You can't even watch the sun put on his bright pajamas and sink into bed. We're coming close to Lou's. I feel bad not to have said my thank yous and goodbyes, and to have shouted at Lou in anger. In my old home, where death sneaks into your home in the hush of night, goodbyes were a precious thing. How can I miss a place of such pain, I wonder? It doesn't make sense. And yet there it is. What I miss is the time before the pain. I miss Mama and Luau listening to my father sing a laughing song. In the moonlight, I see first the old gray fence with the new boards of the gate Ganwar and I had fixed. I see Lou's house, the tree with its great brown arms outstretched, the sagging barn. I see Gold, too. She's in the field alone, staring out at the road. I touch the window, and then, I don't know why, I yell for the driver to stop. Treed, page 210. By the time I'm over the fence, Gold has spotted me. She trudges over, slow but determined, like an old woman longing for her grandchild's embrace. When we reach each other, I put my head on her neck. You should be in the barn, I say. I peer over her to see if Lou is outside. The sky is rich with stars, like fresh black dirt, sprinkled with tiny seeds. The moon hangs low, a cupped hand of silver water. Goal nudges me. I know this means she wants an ear scratch, so I do as I'm told. Tears warm my cheeks. A door slams. I see Lou heading to the barn. I crouch low beside Goal. I don't want Lou to see me crying. She will be coming to get Goal, and I must hide. The field is empty. There's nowhere to go but the big tree. As I dash over and clamber up easily, it's a good climbing tree. High up in the tangle of branches, I watch the cars charge by like a herd of panicked animals. Goal looks up at me, wondering why her ear scratches over. She heads slowly into the direction of the tree. I wipe my nose on my sleeve. No, I say softly, Goal, away, Goal. She settles in under the tree and stares up at me like a motherless puppy. I'm so high I should be able to see forever into the starlight. I imagine that if I try hard enough, I can see my family's thatched hut, my father's sharp horned cattle, the tree where I learned I'm not meant to be a bird. Go away, I whisper. going to be here for a long time. Ganwar, page 213. I have been in the tree forever when I hear a bus screech to a stop. Far across the field I can just make out a tall figure climbing down the bus stairs. Ganwar leaps over the fence and strides across the field. He's heading toward the barn, but then he stops. He looks at Goal, he looks up at the branch into the branches of my tree, and he laughs. Please don't tell me you're trying to fly again, he says. How did you find me here? I ask in a loud whisper. I woke up when you shut the door. I watched from the window when you got on the bus and I took the next one. Why? I demanded. Ganwar shrugs. Don't know exactly. But it was worth it just to see you stuck up there. Using his good hand, in one graceful move he climbs up to join me. I don't want company, I say. He ignores me. So you're running away? I'm trying. Where to? Maybe I'm going home to find Mama. Ganwar nods. You think that's what she would want? It's what a man would do, I say. Ganwar rubs his chin. What if she's already on her way here? I rub my eyes. Suddenly I feel tired. If I lie back on this branch, I feel I could fall asleep for a week. I'm not used to making so many decisions. I'm not used to so many changes. In my old world, I was just Keck, the silly boy. I was Lual's little brother, Ganwar's troublesome cousin, my parents' mischievous child. That was all, and that was enough. I sigh. There are too many hard things, I say softly. I can barely hear my own words. It isn't fair. I want everything I lost. Ganwar rubs the place where his hand should be. I look away. I don't want to think about what he has lost. Maybe I'll come with you, Ganwar says. No, I say firmly. You stay. But it will never be right for me here, Keck. I have this. He holds up his stump of an arm, and I have the gar. It's worse for me. I'll never fit in. If you're giving up, why shouldn't I? I don't answer him, but when I look at Ganwar's arm, I think of how he leapt into the tree like it was his only home, and how he does all the work I do with just one good hand to help him. I remember something Mama used to say on dark days. If you can talk, you can sing. If you can walk, you can dance. Ganwar, I whisper, what if she never comes? What if What if it's only me? I can't do it all by myself. Ganwar sends me a sad smile. My cousin, he says, you already are. Talk. I hear the crunch of someone walking. Lou comes out of the barn. Goal, she calls, what are you up to, old girl? Slowly, Lou makes her way over. She follows Goal's gaze up into the tree. My, she says, this may be the first time in history a cow has treed two boys. We climb down slowly. When I get to the bottom, Goal nudges me again. She wants her ear scratched to continue. I force myself to meet Lou's eyes. Moonlight glints on her silver hair, like ice on snow. I'm sorry, I say, for being angry with you. It isn't your fault about the farm. Lou smiles. Come on, you two. I could use a hand. We head toward the barn. Goal follows. Kind yellow light spills from the house. Lou and Ganwar and I stand there in the silent barn, stroking Goal and waiting. After a while, I help Lou toss some fresh hay into Goal's stall. How'd you end up in my tree this evening? Lou finally asks. I don't want to say the truth, but when Lou looks right at you, you cannot make up stories. I was running away, I say. I see. Lou thinks about this for a moment. Want a cookie before you go? I think too. A cookie would not be such a bad thing. Chocolate? I ask. Yep. I follow Lou and Ganwar into the house. Might be a long time before I see chocolate again. Changes, page 221. I take a handful of cookies to show my gratitude. Lou sits across from us at the kitchen table. The light spreads gentle shadows. So, you're running away, Lou says. That's a mighty big job. I watch while Lou gets us glasses of milk. On top of the coal box, there is a picture in a frame. I see a pretty woman smiling, and a man has his arm around her. He's tall and proud. Behind the woman is a small tree. Lou follows my gaze. That's me, she says, a very long time ago, and my husband Robert. And that tree is the one you two climbed just now. I stare at the picture, then back at Lou. If I try very hard and think once upon a time, I think maybe I can find that young woman in her face. I imagine a time when the barn didn't sag, and the cattle were many and strong, and the hope grew fast, and flowers in good earth. Fast as flowers in good earth. I imagine Lou saying goodbye soon to this place, and that has been her home for so long, to live in a world with no snow and no cows. Lou pulls down another picture. This is my sister, the one in LA, she says. She had a little yard. She has a little yard. I suppose I could plant some vegetables there. You can grow things year round. She stares at the picture. Imagine that. I spot a tiny seed of something fine sprouting in Lou's eyes. My heart is glad to see it. I remember my aunt's words. Heck finds sun when the sky is dark. And that was easy to do when I was a child in my life before. It's not so easy when the clouds are low and black. I wonder if finding the sun is one way to be a man. I drink all my milk. The clock ticks. Ganwar and Lou are watching me. I know it would be better to wait for Mama here, I say at last. Lou and Ganwar nod. They don't say anything. I guess I could come back to work until you have to leave, I add. That would be great, Lou says. I know Goal would like that. She could use more attention, Ganwar says. That cow does love a good ear scratch, Lou agrees. She's good for petting, I say. And leaning on, Ganwar adds. She's a very unusual cow, Lou says. Another idea comes into my head, like a new friend knocking on the door. Sometimes I very much like my brain, I say. What do you mean, Ganwar asks. I smile. I think maybe I just found some sun for Goal. Right, so that is the end of this week's reading. Next week we will pick up after page 224. Thanks.